Welcome to Frida Miletsky Healing Arts. I'm your host, Frida, and I am the healing artist. I had one of my friends come over yesterday, Cassidy Brown, and the two of us were having tea together. And he is an incredible actor and also podcaster himself. He's recorded an audiobook. He's very familiar with doing things online with sound. And of course was acting during the pandemic with doing stuff on Zoom and everything. So he's very familiar with everything. So he came and looked at my setup. And now, if you're watching this on video, you might see I have a blanket behind me and a sleeper pad next to me, because those are two ways to perhaps make my audio sound a little better. So again, we're learning together. So he gave me some wonderful advice that I really took in. And he said that my opening statement just wasn't really hitting. My hello, welcome to Frida Miletsky Healing Arts. I'm your host, Frida, and I am the healing artist. That it wasn't landing or hitting. And he's like, what is that I am? Why don't you just say I'm? And I threw my hands up in the air right away. And I was just like, because I am. Oh boy, talking about the I am. So I sat in, how do I want to talk about the I am with you? The I am presence, the I am, the created to, how we are connected to everything. The biggerness, the God energy in each of us, the I am. So I sat and did some automatic writing about I am this morning. And I was just going to read that to you. I wanted to share. And then after I did this automatic writing, I actually just scripted the podcast. I sat here and just wrote it out, like what I would say to you. So today, again, we keep trying new things. Sometimes I've been speaking extemporaneously. Sometimes I've written things down. Sometimes I've tried notes. So let's see what is the best way to do this. We're learning. All right, here's what came through for the I am. I am the sun. I am the moon. I am the stars. The light that you see with your eyes and the eyes that see the light. I am the mountains. I am the glaciers. I am the earth. I am the water, the land, the grass, the sand, the air, the clouds, the trees, all those who walk, fly, swim, skip, hover. I am you. I am them. I am the light and the dark. I am everything. I am everything across all time, space, dimension, and reality. I am the everything. I am the nothing. I am the greatest and the strongest and huge. I am smaller than the smallest small. I am beyond conception of the logical mind, but you can feel me in your body. You can feel me in your heart. I am electric. I am. Ooh. How does that resonate with you? Do you have any sense of what I'm talking about? Are you familiar with your own I am presence? Sometimes we hit on it in great moments of joy or great moments of triumph, where you can just feel this incredible connection. So the I am is my connection to my higher self. It is my connection to God, universe, source. We have all of these words for something that is sort of undescribable. It is the current that connects all of us. And we're here on earth having this human experience, but we are so much more than this body. We are a soul having a human experience. How's that one resonate for you? For my woo-woo friends, of course. If you're new to that concept, I'm going to say that again. We are a soul having a human experience. This is just a moment in time, an experience in this body to learn and grow. So I would just share that I see the earth as a school, and we're all learning different lessons. We're all doing exactly what we're doing. No one is doing something. We're all making choices. We're having free will. We're going about our business. We're learning our lessons. We're doing our things. The way I see it, no one is particularly right or wrong in the choices in the life and the things that they're choosing to do. It just is. And then what I had written down here is no one is right or wrong in the eyes of consciousness. Those are human judgments, human judgment words that are like right or wrong, good or bad. Consciousness doesn't care. It's just choices. All is just as it is. So I did share this with my parents. I did give them my YouTube information so that they can see what I was up to. And I was raised Christian. And I've opened up to my parents about my spirituality, like little bit by little bit. It's been sort of like coming out there. Same with my husband. He doesn't believe in any of this stuff. The bravery of the people that are like literally in my universe, I have my woo-woo friends and everybody's on board. But this is really like coming out in so many ways to people in my life that they do not see the same as I do. So in sharing this, there is like a massive amount of vulnerability. Anyway, so I was raised Christian. And as I've opened up a little bit more and more to my parents about my spirituality and being spiritual, this next part here is going to be really out there for my parents. And a part of me kind of cringes because I know they're going to need more explanation later. But I'm going to be brave and I'm going to talk to you like I'd talk to one of my woo-woo friends. We are so open and candid in my group of spiritual women that this is our reality. And then I have to remember that it's not most people's reality. This is just what I deeply feel and what I know to be true. There is more to us than just this body in this time. This piece of us operating our meat suit is only a fragment of our higher self. Really let that one sink in. There's going to be an overself, and we are just like a piece of it having this human experience at this moment in time. I personally believe, and this is just my story for myself, okay? So this is what I've come to believe, which is allowed to change. This is just where I'm currently at, okay? Through me clearing my channel, through me addressing my trauma and moving through it and excavating it from my body, in doing so, I found that was like a very good, I just used the word good. This for me was the path that I took to deprogram from all of the things that have been taught to me, all of the things that like I grew up in the American school system learning, or Christianity, or stuff that I took on from my parents, or society. Like I had to deprogram away from all of those things. So like an example would be like to be a good girl means XYZ, or you go to college after school. There's like all these different things that are like, we just think that we have to do. They aren't. If we really checked in with oneself to follow our own bliss, each of us would have a very different track in life. We all are here to do different things. So to really return to self and really remember what I wanted to do or came here to do. And that is, of course, presupposing that you say yes to the idea that I am a fragment of a larger thing that is having a human experience, operating this meat suit in this body, in this moment, in this time, in this life. So for me, the teaching that I feel like I'm here at least to do is to get rid of all of the things that were absorbed from my parents, environment, entertainment, society, expectations, and to remember who I am and remember that I am this soul having a human experience. And simultaneously, to fully embody this life in this body, doing this stuff at this time. Because I can know or feel that there's something greater than me. But what's the point of hanging out outside of myself, constantly wanting to return to this higher thing when it's like, obviously I came to earth to be in this body, in this moment, and have this human experience, so I better pull myself into my body and have this human experience. What does it feel like to be this 44-year-old lady? Be here. Feel it. It is easier to disassociate away and not be here because it's hard to be embodied. It often really hurts. So I'm here learning these lessons, doing my thing. Healing, growing, loving, having fun, and enjoying my body. Enjoying myself. Learning to love myself. I do not believe that we came here to suffer. I believe in learning how to suffer less. I believe that that's the journey that at least I've been on because I really suffered and now I'm learning to suffer less. So sometimes in the spiritual groups that I'm part of or when I listen to teachers online or Instagram and stuff, people call this sort of like understanding and knowing, and what I'm sharing with you right now, they call it waking up from the Matrix. The Matrix is an amazing film. That first one, like the red pill, the blue pill, like, do you want to really know? This is so vulnerable because I can just hear my husband rolling his eyes. Oh boy. It's okay. It's okay. If you're going to put yourself out there, you got to put yourself out there, right? I'd have no problem talking to my friends like this, my other woo-woo friends. Gosh, yeah, just going public with what you really believe is, ooh, lordy-loo. Okay. Getting okay with the possibility that I'm sharing in a way where people think I'm cuckoo. Also, I'm allowed to change my mind. This is this moment. And this is me sharing. Oof, boy. God, this is hard. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. So I see us down here. We're embodied. We're in these bodies. And it's like we're playing a game. The game is your life. Yeah, so my husband is a big-time video game player, and those graphics and stuff on the games that he plays are unbelievable. And I just sort of think of life this way, to both be fully embodied here, operating, doing this, being me, and to simultaneously hold this life kind of lightly in a way. Because yes, it feels so real. It is what we're doing right now. And it is a small part of a vast, massive, bigger, whole big picture that we don't have access to. I don't think we're supposed to. The game is learning to return to love and oneness, and to learn to love ourselves here in this body, to when, quite frankly, Earth is really difficult. It is hard to be here. everything I'm talking about, everything I've said so far today, none of this is helpful when you are in the thick and heaviness of the world. None of this is helpful. These are really heady concepts that come way after you have really started to deal with your stuff. Okay? This is like the big picture, bigger, higher viewpoint. You may even be angry with me right now. I think that this might be incredibly triggering, honestly. So, these concepts can be entirely unhelpful when you're in the thick and heaviness of everything going on, and there's so much suffering, so much devastation. So, like, part of being a healer, and in order for me to do the work that I'm doing, is to become detached. I have to be detached from, I cannot feel all of the pain and suffering. So I think it's, let me think. I think it was Brene Brown that talks about, like, if you have a best friend and your best friend is down in a hole, right? And you want to help your best friend out of the hole, but you don't have the tools when you get down in the bottom of the hole to hug your best friend and be there with them to get your own self out of the hole again. Don't go down in the hole with your friend. Got to figure out other ways to lower a ladder or something. Do not get in the hole that you can't get out of. So there's a level of, like, seeing things from higher up and being detached, because I can't be in the mud and muck. And then help you shift your perspective to get out of the mud and muck. I can't be in there with you. I have to create boundaries to hang out over here. Yes, still embodied. Yes, still feeling all the feelings. Yes, still doing my own trauma healing. And offering help from the sidelines. These are big, bold things to say as a recovering codependent. Recovering. I still have codependency stuff with especially a family member and my husband. So I still am working on it. I catch myself. I'll catch myself doing codependent behaviors, but I would say I'm in recovery. Oh, man. That's definitely for another day. So I don't mean to sound cavalier or unkind when I sort of share these idea of the bird's eye perspective. I can witness injustice, pain, sorrow, genocide, murder, theft, crime, destruction, disaster, disease. And I can know these things, and yet to do this work, I cannot take that on as my own. I can't. Some people can. Some people are here to learn compassion. Some people are here to help so deeply in these arenas that are really, really challenging. And that's their job, and that's what they're there to do. And that's beautiful. And everybody has a role. Everyone is playing a part. I would just share that's I can't be in there. So I've had to create and learn how to have boundaries, because being sort of empathic, like I can read the room. And I can't stay detached if I choose to feel everybody's feelings. I have to sort of put boundaries up in order to just sort of be in here doing me. And then I can help from the overflow that I have. Again, this is just me. I'm sharing for myself. In learning to love myself and heal myself, I have had to get really real about what I can control. And what I can control is my reactions and my responses in this world. But that is it. That is it, honeys. I can't control Mother Earth, other people, the weather, the stock market, the country, the world, disease, everything. I can't control anything outside of myself. My responses to the world around me. And I can only control me and myself in this moment right now. And I choose. And I have chosen and I choose to do my own work and give that my full attention. I was gifted a set of circumstances in my life that led me on this path and that allowed me to the concentrated deep dive to get to this moment and this place that I am in with you right now, wide open and brave enough to talk to you. And not in a million years did I ever think I'd be talking to you. I hid behind others my entire life. I was so traumatized when I was a child. I would enter a room and like I did this through my whole life. I did this into my, late 30s. I would enter a room and I would know where the exits were. I'd scan the crowd. I'd know how to navigate and how to escape. And I would do this in minutes. I would just know how to navigate that situation. I would chameleon myself to be humorous and breezy, and I could talk to anyone. I could fit into any group. Zoop, zoop, swim through, do what you have to do, get it done, get out. No one knew my inner pain and suffering, and no one knew my inner truth. I didn't know it because I was unwilling to face it, and I was unwilling to face myself. I was unwilling to look at me. When I did and began to go through this, when I did choose to face myself and walk through the fire to find myself, I made a choice that I was not going to give up on me. I could be here, alive in this body, or I could choose not to be here anymore, right? But I chose to be here. So I was like, well, I'm going to determinedly do this. This was my path. And I have known darkness. I've lived in a hell of my own making for a large portion of my life. So when I realized that I could escape that hell by learning to quiet my mind, surrender completely to each moment as it arises, and live in the now, life became a heaven on earth. Life is good when we love the darkness and we love the light. We love both of these things. We love all of the parts of ourselves. By loving all parts of myself, I choose how I navigate the world, and I navigate it with love. Life is good when the annoyances, troubles, and pitfalls come up. I've walked through hell and spent most of my life wanting to die, so I can deal with this ridiculous annoyance, whatever it is in front of my face, whatever that hard thing is. It's like, oh, well, that isn't... How can I explain this? To feel so incredibly miserable and to know bad, I'm going to use the word bad, to know bad, I can choose to know good. I can choose to walk towards love, even in really annoying situations. I can choose love. So this is all about shifting one's perspective, yes? This is about us choosing to change the way that we see the world. For me to get here, this was about me choosing to fall in love with myself and go on a journey of self-discovery. And it's something that, if this is pinging for you, if it's like, ooh, I want to learn about that, then it's something that I would invite for you as well. Because I don't regret it one bit. It is my purpose. It is why I'm here. It is why I'm talking to you right now. I have no doubt. It's why I'm in the process of practicing to become the best teacher possible for you. Or the people. I should say the people. Not probably. Who knows? So the world is a mess. Right? But how can we fix the world if we're fixing it through the wounded, painful, egoic mind? Okay? How can we make community together if we first do not face ourselves, find our connection, and our own I am? I'm going to read that again because this is the whole bag right here. How can we fix the world if we're fixing it through the wounded, painful, egoic mind? How can we make community together if we first do not face ourselves and find our connection to our own I am? We are a country that was built on stolen land, built by slave labor, okay? And we do not acknowledge that. We do not learn it in school. I did not learn this in school. The way they even taught the brother on brother Civil War situation, I don't feel like it was until my later me investigating on my own that I understood the whole situation with slavery. I did not learn that. So how can we, without making reparations and fully feeling the feelings of everything that we have gotten and where it came from, how can we move forward with equality and equity if we don't help raise up our brothers and sisters alongside us? We have to raise up together. Power together, not power over. But people who are wounded and hurt, people who do not face themselves, want to have power over. So again, how can we fix the world if we're fixing it through the wounded, painful, egoic mind? Okay, that's it. I'm done. I think you probably hear me. And again, this is my hot take. This is me. This is where I've come after doing the trauma healing that I have done. I do not see how we build a future together. One that has equity for all. If we do not honor our history. So my favorite present moment awareness teacher is Eckhart Tolle. Tolle. It has an E on the end. And I've always said it, I don't know if I've heard it spoken out loud, but I must have. Some people say Tolle. I've always said Tolle out loud. So, and my favorite book of his is The Power of Now. It is an easy read and yet a very deep teaching. So you might glance through it and be like, oh, this is simple. Yes, but to actually live the practice is the practice. That is return to the now, return to the now, return to the now. So it's teaching yourself how to stay in present moment awareness. And I wanted to share with you that this is one of the places that I started my healing journey. This book came to me in 2020. The first time I listened to it, it just gave me chills. I was like full body chills style situation. And I didn't understand it. There were elements of it that made sense, but I think I've probably spent over the years about 100 hours with that audiobook, and ultimately it is a excellent deep teaching for present moment awareness, and I highly recommend it. It teaches you how to operate in the real world through clock time, but then otherwise sort of just staying in the now. And I cannot recommend it enough, to be honest with you. He uses the word signpost. And I want my podcast, The Healing Artist, to be a signpost along the way. It's just one more thing possibly waking you up. It's one more thing possibly being ding, ding, ding along your journey in this body, in this life, at this moment in time where things are so chaotic. Something to return to the now. So until next time, my friends, I love you. God, Universe, Source loves you. Let's find out how the audio sounds with the blankets. All right, my loves, have a wonderful day.